News at 11.
We begin this evening with some breaking news happening within the hour. Lawmakers in North Carolina have failed to repeal the controversial House Bill 2, also known as the bathroom bill.
That's right. Governor-elect Bill Cooper says a bipartisan deal, which was supposed to flush the entire deal, ended up getting a moratorium on a non-discrimination ordinance. The law restricted which bathrooms transgender people can use, and it led to a backlash, including lawsuits and a major loss of business and jobs in North Carolina. Cooper says he will fight the repeal. To repeal the law, he says, has stained the state. Tonight, a highway patrolman goes beyond the badge, a move that would make a lifetime difference for one area boy.
That's right. ABC Columbia's Alexis Frazier explains how a car crash brought the two lives together by accident with a random act of kindness. Alexis?
Yes, a trooper just doing his job took a time to take a quick pose with an inspiring law enforcement official who tells us that moment in this photo you see behind me meant the world to him, proving that one act of kindness can go a very long way.
It meant a lot to me that I know this trooper had a busy day, and he just took a few minutes just to stand right there and get a photo with me, and I don't know, it meant a lot to me.
As a child, Joseph Ragsdale's love and respect for law enforcement was pretty hard to miss.
I knew when he was young that he would probably end up with the military or law enforcement because the love that I saw in his eyes when he would see a police officer or somebody in uniform.
His mother, Robin, says he would always want a picture with them. And one day, Robin had a minor crash that Sergeant Quest Hallman was called to.
I was just so amazed of how the trooper held himself, his uniform that he wore, the kindness that he showed to my family, and I wanted a photo with him.
But he was too nervous to ask, so Ragsdale had his dad do it, and in a snap, the rest was history.
I was praying about it, and I felt like the Highway Patrol was the best. It's something I've always wanted to do.
Now, years later, the little boy in this photo is a grown man who recently graduated to the Highway Patrol and got reconnected with the man who inspired him the most.
I wanted to be like that trooper that impacted my life, like Trooper Hallman here did. That's what I want to do. I want to go out and impact the lives in our community.
I felt proud, but I also felt humbled that, I was there just doing my job, treating people the way I'd want to be treated.
I'm a proud mom. And I love my son.
Ragsdale says he hopes to do for others what Hallman did for him.
That's why I strive to be an impact and not an influence. I think an impact is more important in the young people's lives.
Well, the graduation was the first time those two have ever seen each other in years. They both jokingly said the only thing that's changed is their appearance, not their personality. Live in the studio, Alexis Frazier, ABC Columbia.
Well, the countdown, the rush, the madness, whatever you call it, it is on. Millions are getting in gear for those holiday festivities, some of them out of town.
That's right. And with so many more expected to take advantage of a little holiday getaway, the focus is now on getting there safely. ABC Columbia's Gabrielle Franklin explains.
AAA says over 1 million South Carolinians are expected to travel between December 23rd and January 2nd. Many of those travelers will be riding by car, but for those planning to take a plane, experts say it's best to prepare ahead of time.
Before you come to the airport, you always want to check your flight status. You want to go straight to the airline's website or get their app. Airline apps are super useful. You get it, you can get your boarding pass, your flight status, your gate information, all that good stuff.
If you are planning to fly items with you, you may want to also brush up on Transportation Security Administration regulations.
A lot of people like to fly with gifts or food around Christmas. There's a whole list of things you can and can't take through the checkpoint. And the same rules that apply year-round also apply for Christmas. There's some weird exceptions for foods, like different pies are accepted and whatnot. But all that good stuff is available on the TSA website.
For drivers planning on getting behind the wheel to travel, experts say you should use traditional forms of navigation rather than technology.
We do recommend a map at all times because, technology can only take you so far. A lot of people, once you get off the beaten path, your GPS stops working, your phone stops working, and there's nothing like a good old paper map.
Many people like to drink and be merry during the holiday season, but State Highway Patrol troopers are warning you to avoid drinking and driving.
We want to remind you, Troopers is teaming up with local law enforcement agencies around the state. We're going to have sobriety checkpoints. We're going to be out patrolling our roadways. And at the end of this holiday period, we want to end with 0 fatalities.
Gabrielle Franklin, ABC Columbia News.
A YouTube star known for his pranks may have felt like he was in the middle of one during what was supposed to be an ordinary flight from London's Heathrow Airport to New York. According to Adam Saleh, he and a friend were thrown off a Delta airline flight when he called his mother and began speaking in Arabic before takeoff. Delta officials say some 20 passengers claimed they were uncomfortable with the conversation just before the 2 passengers were booted. Delta says both customers were rebooked for another flight. A full review of the incident is underway tonight.
Well, if you are getting ready to travel, whether that be by air or a train or on the roads, then many of you are hoping that the gifts that you are getting is some good weather.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
Getting to wherever you need to go for Christmas and the other holidays. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist John Farley. We don't need any sort of weather event thrown into the mix.
No, we should be in pretty good shape. There will be a little bit of fog in the morning, but outside of that, certainly tomorrow looks just fine. Here you go. I'd start you off with the visibilities here. In Orangeburg, Wagner, and Lexington, less than 10 miles. And again, a reminder is that all the airports report 10 miles or greater. So everywhere else, it's at least 10 miles. So there'll be a little bit of fog to get things going in the morning. I don't expect that it's going to slow things down very much. Here's a look at your commute. 36 degrees or so at 6, and we're warmer tomorrow. In fact, tomorrow by afternoon, boy, you're going to notice the difference. How about this? After that early fog goes away, and again, there won't be a whole lot of it, 67, somewhere in that range. So mid to upper 60s tomorrow. Very, very nice. Now, of course, there's Friday, then there's Christmas Eve, which is also the first day of Hanukkah, and Christmas. I'll have that forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
All right, John, thanks. Of course, we started the week with that raw rain, the chill in the air. Today was cold, but not bad for the first official day of winter.
Yeah, not at all. And while it may have felt like Old Man Winter was already here, the season didn't start until today with winter solstice. That's the day with the fewest hours and minutes of sunlight for the entire year.
Coming together in the light and the love and the hope of looking forward to a new year. It's kind of traditional this time of year to take inventory. What have we done? What have we left undone? What do we want to put behind us? And what are we looking forward to in these longer days ahead?
All right, so what this means is from this point forward, the days will keep getting longer and the nights shorter until summer. Well, the snow and ice may not be coming from the sky, but who needs it when there's plenty of it right here on Main Street? That's right, Main Street Ice is operating on special holiday hours. The ice skating rink will be open from 12 until 9 p.m. tomorrow and 12 till 10 p.m. on Friday. Saturday, 10 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night, and then Sunday from 1 until 9 p.m. Children can skate for $5, adults paying just a little bit more at $8 a ticket. The rink will stay open until January 16th.
Tomorrow, State Representative Jim Merrill is set to appear in bond court to face his ethics charges.
That's right. Merrill's bond hearing is scheduled for 11 o'clock in the morning in Richland County. Merrill was indicted last week on 2 counts of misconduct in office and ethics violations surrounding the use of his political consulting firm. Merrill denies the charges against him.
Of course, so many are looking for ways to give back during this season, and one way that you can do that would be through the Red Cross. They need you to donate your blood to help save a life. The Red Cross will be holding a series of blood drives beginning tomorrow at the Blood Donation Center on Bull Street.
I think sometimes people forget that it's not just for trauma. It's not just for the ER if somebody has an accident. People who have cancer use platelets. People with sickle cell are in need of that as well. So it's not just for accidents. It's an everyday occurrence that we need blood.
You can work it into your schedule tomorrow. Make sure you stop by the Red Cross Donation Center on Bull Street anytime between 9 in the morning and 5 in the evening. Massive manhunt is underway. Authorities continue searching for a 24-year-old Tunisian man suspected in the deadly Berlin market crash that killed 12 people and injured dozens more.
That's right. ABC's Matt Gutman brings us the very latest developments from Berlin.
Tonight, a Europe-wide dragnet for this man, 24-year-old Anis Amri of Tunisia. Germany warning he could be armed and dangerous. According to a German lawmaker, Amri's wallet and ID were found in the cab of that battered semi-truck after it bulldozed through this crowded Berlin Christmas market, crushing stalls, killing 11 and injuring dozens more. Amri was long on the radar of German terror officials. Today, the AP obtaining this alert going out to international police, noting he has used 6 aliases in 3 countries. He came to Germany in 2015 seeking asylum, but it was denied. Officials concerned about his ties to radical Islamists and allegations of petty crime. Germany then trying to deport him, but he didn't have the paperwork to prove he was Tunisian, and so he stayed. According to the AP, German authorities had him under surveillance until September, after getting a tip he was trying to obtain weapons for an attack. Today, police searching this home for refugees where he's believed to have stayed. Police aren't saying Amri drove the truck into the market. That semi believed to have been hijacked just hours before the attack, as its driver was hauling steel beams from Italy to Germany. That driver seen on this surveillance camera at a diner after calling his wife. His dead body was found in the battered truck, German officials saying he'd been shot, but no gun was found on the scene. The attack jarring Germany and its stoic Chancellor Angela Merkel. She's being increasingly challenged for her decision to welcome more than 1 million migrants. Tonight, protected by cordons of police and riot gear, members of Germany's far right gathered near the site of the attack.
The voice you hear behind me is from a neo-Nazi group, and past this line of dozens of officers to keep the peace, there is a pro-immigration rally that is far larger.
In other parts of Berlin, a different response to the tragedy. The city's famed Christmas markets open once again.
Germans seem to be listening to their government, coming back out to these Christmas markets, and while the crowds are what you would expect to see this time of year, what you wouldn't expect to see, police vans.
And as Germans flock to these markets once again, we saw something else too. Cranes placing these concrete barriers at the Alexander Place market. Protection should the unthinkable happen again.
Well, here in the United States, police also on high alert, stepping up security at holiday markets in some of our nation's biggest cities. In New York, counterterrorism authorities say there is no specific threat, but there is a police presence that has been stepped up. In D.C., barriers are at many of the entrances to the D.C. holiday market. Well, a woman is making it her business to send some holiday cheer.
Yeah, Christmas cards seem to be something that people are kind of doing away with.
Yeah, exactly. Lost art.
But we're going to introduce you to a woman who is going to send a Christmas card to as many people as she can. We'll hear from her next.
Hey guys, your last chance to spread the holiday cheer to some Midlands families in need is right around the corner. Find out just what's needed and how much time you have left when you join us for Good Morning Columbia starting at 5 a.m.